Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're all well. As you can see, Tom is here today, and before I'm allowed to say anything or do anything, Tom wants to tell you about something he's made today. So do you want to tell the ladies and gents at home what's happened?
Yeah, I've got this t-shirt and I've coloured it.
You've coloured it, did it come in the post today?
And
what did you use?
I used pens.
Very colourful. I hope you like it everybody, he's been waiting all day to show you all. So he's coloured the front, and what have you popped on the arm? VIP apparently, VIP.
But
what?
Q, even.
Yeah, VIQ today, if anybody asks. So well done Tom, I'm sure everybody's super proud of your super colouring, and it's a t-shirt that he can wash and the colour will stay within, and it will fade after a couple of washes, and then he can recolour it if he wants to. So we hope you like his work. So he's going to get down now and he's going to go and sit with his dad, if that's okay. So just set Tom up, thank you, and then Mummy can get back in the hot seat and sit down. There we go, ladies and gents, thank you for that. I really didn't want to say no. He does get super excited, and if he could, he would be in the studio every single day. But as you can imagine, as a mother, and this is my job, it's a little bit difficult, but it's always nice to see him every now and then. So welcome everybody. If you are live to the show for the first time, my name is Toni and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I love anything to do with crafting. So I know you are like-minded crafters too, because you tune in every single day and come and get some inspiration of some form. So welcome Sharon, Amanda, Pat Pepper, Margaret, Helen. I bet Pat laughs every time I say Pat Pepper. Shirley, Jane, Roseanne, I love that name, Roseanne, Joe, Maxine. Hello everybody, welcome to the studio this afternoon. It is quite warm, isn't it? However, it's blusting a gale outside. It is really, really windy. Our unit's like rattling all over. So, Pat, I do. So I'm so sorry about yesterday. Maybe it was preempting the wind today and just letting us know, you know, we're not going ahead today. So, as you can imagine, we're a little bit disheartened. Everything was ready. But sometimes these things do happen, but we do try our best. So at least we're here today. We've got that to be grateful for. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the lovely HD button for a better viewing experience. The makes will be posted over on Facebook, and you can pop a comment on that if you wish, and be in with a chance to win a handmade card. So in today's studio, as you all know, we've been doing the lovely Craft Academy, but we've done the three shows using the last Be Inspired stamp. So the next one is the lovely Explore stamp. This one is on Monday. If you're wanting any of the Craft Academy stamps, all you need to do is go to FBL on our website and pop in FBL into the search engine, and it brings up all the products that we've used in show, products we maybe have launched, some of the earlier products we've revisited and played with. So it's just a quick sort of search area for you to go if you haven't got the time to go in and out of all the categories on the website. Obviously, of course, you can do that and go and have a browse and see what's on there, but it's just a little bit of a quick area to visit should you want something quickly. What I will say to you today is some of the products that I am using, I have popped on FBL. And some of the products are older, or I don't like to call them old, because even though they're old, they are still amazing. Are earlier stamps. And again, the stamps that I'm using, we will honour the die if any of you still want them. Now, they have been in there a while, and I think a lot of you have got them. So it's probably a good time to revisit them while we've got a bit of time for you to, because you will have had them by now. And people who have had them, I think we launched them about 2 years ago, maybe. So some of you will have them from back then. So it's good to revisit our older products and get them out and have a play, maybe try some new techniques. So in today's studio, we're going to have a bit of fun. I'm going to show you some cards not using any stamps, and we're going to do a card using one of our earlier stamps too. So if you have any questions, don't forget you can pop it on here. If I can't help you, the ladies or gents on there can. And just a quick reminder then that we are going to be doing a sort of card reveal at the end of the Craft Academy in about 6 or 7 weeks, and it's an opportunity for you to send a card that you've made using any of the Craft Academy stamps. Now, when I said that on Wednesday, I really did forget about the people that maybe have been crafting along but haven't purchased one of the Craft Academy stamps, and that's okay. As you all know, we encourage you to craft along despite having the products or having the products. It doesn't really matter. You come for the inspiration. So if you do want to make a card with any of your other Stamps by Me products and have the reveal live in one of the live shows here in studio, then you can do that. I felt like it came across as if you had to have a Craft Academy stamp, but you don't. Okay, so if you want to send in a handmade card, and I will show it after the Craft Academy has finished in 12 weeks, we're halfway through, then please do so. And if you want to write a message in and you want me to read it out, then I will. And if you don't, please pop on there that you don't. Can you show us your sketchbook? Oh my gosh. In fact, the sketchbook for the one that I'm gonna do today, of course I can. Shall I show you it tomorrow? I'll dig it out. I don't think it's far. And I've also got a sketchbook which I've got some new ones into. If I can find that one, I'll show you some new stamps as well. Do you want me to show you those? That's exciting. That's a good question, that one, actually. Yeah, of course. I will dig them out. Hopefully for tomorrow's studio, that'd be great. So let's have a look. No questions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to revisit our lovely Gossip ink in bottles. Now, one of the ladies asked, it's got to be about 6 to 8 weeks ago now, to revisit these, and as you all know, when you ask if we can revisit products, it goes on the list, and as soon as I get the opportunity to have a bit of downtime away from maybe Craft Academy or Christmas or something like that, we revisit products. So these are the Gossip ink in bottles. I'm just checking the questions quickly before we actually get into demo. Dorothy, is that the demo you did for me at the retreat? I can't remember what I did. Remind me, Dorothy. And Sharon's asking, we sent an email about 2 weeks ago. Should she call instead? We are getting through them. There has been a lot, as you can imagine, and I have been asking for a few days for you to be patient, and I know you have been patient. But just in case it has been missed, Sharon, send the email again. Tim's been at his desk all day again dealing with emails and sorting people's issues with orders and things like that. So send it again, sweetheart. I'm sure it'll get picked up either today or tomorrow. So yes, Dorothy, that's right. Right, so let's just start the demo and then I'll answer the questions as we go on. I'll let them build up and I'll talk through them as we go, because otherwise I'll just be sat here answering questions and I get really overwhelmed with it. But yeah, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a fabulous ink in bottles. Now, we've had this product about 18 months. We have used them quite a lot. As you can see, a lot of mine are nearly empty. Some of my favourite colours. But basically they are a watercolour ink that have sparkle in the bottom. Now the sparkle that's in there is glitter, so it's really heavy. So it's not mica, it's glitter, so you get like 2 for the price of 1. Because the glitter's heavy, it settles quicker, so therefore you can paint with clear colour, or you can shake to wake, as we say, and you can have a sparkly watercolour too. So these come in a box of 12. They come with 12 pipettes, these here, so you can pipette the colour out if you want to. They come with the cork in the top here to protect the colour and stop it from leaking, but don't worry if you end up losing your cork. The cap on top is perfect for sealing them anyway. That's just an extra precautionary on there for you. So I know a lot of you have got these, and a lot of you have been saying, can you play, can we play? So we are going to play today. We're going to play with 2 things. We're going to play with some string and do some lovely effects on card, because I know a lot of you did it last time and absolutely loved it, so maybe you should get them back out and let's revisit them. And a great one is doing it in browns and blues and blacks. You get great Father's Day cards without any stamps, so that's great. So if I have, you see, a lot of you have got the inks. I bet a lot of you have probably not used them or been looking at them, haven't you? So let's get straight into some fun. First of all, and then second demo, I'll complete a card using one of our earlier stamps. So how do I store my Gossip pens? I just store them Well, to be honest with you, at the moment, they are all stored upright in their box, and that's absolutely fine. Because I've got the best heads in the pens, you can store them anyway. They shouldn't leak. But as I'm moving them into my new craft room, they're going to be stored on their side. I have some like circle storage, and I'm putting them all in there in the colour families. So I will do a reveal on my craft room soon to show you exactly how I store things. So if you're wanting some hints and tips on storage and how I store my products, which I haven't got a lot of, I will tell you now. I probably do not have a quarter of what you guys have at home, but I will show you definitely what I've got and how I store it. So coffee. Oh, that was hot. That was very hot. So first of all, I'm going to do a practice because I'm out of, I've not done it for a while either. So for this technique, I've got a bit of a messy mat going on here as well because, you know, new mats and things, I like to try and keep them as clean as I can. So let's just move that over there, out of the way. So if you are wanting to craft along, I know some of you do, I'm using a 08, which is a red tone, and I'm using 12, which is a purple tone, okay? So first of all, let's just show you what I'm going to do for the people that are maybe not seeing this technique. It isn't my own technique, by the way. It's one that a lot of people were doing on social media, and I tried it live on telly and it worked. Thank goodness. I was so nervous, but it did work. So you're going to need 2 pieces of card and some sort of like twine or cotton works as well. Something you've probably got in your stash. You don't need anything fancy, something inexpensive. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in the ink. So as with all of our gossip range as well, ladies and gents, I will tell you, we do all the colour swatches for you. We absolutely encourage you to do a colour swatch, and I'll show you why. Can you tell me what colour that is in the bottle? Can you see that? You can't. And how they're made, you're really going to struggle if you're going to go buy bottles. Please do your colour swatches. That's what they're there for. Download the colour swatch and create yourself a chart, and you'll be able to see the true colours. This one's purple and this one's brown, but you can't tell looking at the bottle. So make sure you do your colour swatches, okay? And the second thing I want to show you is, let me just find a colour that might show better on here. Just one second. Just find some, sorry. I just really want to show you, if possible, if our camera will catch it. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to find the red. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you this red, because some of you may want to buy these products. You might not have anything like this. Right, so I'm just going to pop the lid on here. So can we just zoom in on this camera, please, Tim? Just so I can show. So if you're wanting clean, clear colour, you get the red. Okay, I'll wait till we zoom in, and I'll show you what happens. So it's just important that I show you this because they are a fabulous product, but just looking at them, it looks like plain watercoloured ink in bottles, and they're way more than that, and the techniques that you can do are far, far greater. Enid, you need to get yours out of the box, sweetheart. So there we go. Can we see that there? So you can see it's a red colour in there, and you can see the glitter. It's sat right at the bottom there, but this is what happens when you shake it. Can we see that there? Can you see it, Tim? So you get 2 for the price of 1. Now I've got sparkle colour, and then if I pop that to one side now, within a matter of minutes, I will have clean red watercolour. So if you want sparkle, shake them, get the colour out. You've got your pipettes in there. If you want in clean, clear colour, let it settle. It's settling now. I'll wait till it's settled a little bit. Only takes a couple of minutes, and that's great because you get 2 for the price of 1. So let's go ahead and play. So always have some tissue to hand because it can get quite messy. And all I'm going to do is, let's go purple first whilst that one's settling. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the piece of string, I'm just going to pop it straight into the bottle, like so. And you can use your pipette to push it in, like so. So I'm just going to push it in there till I've got a little piece left in my hand. So it's going to drink all of that lovely ink. This is the way that I do it because I'm not a fan of mess, as you all know. So if I can keep my hands as clean as possible, then this is how I'm going to do it. And I always find sometimes if you get really messy, it's really off-putting. So push it in there, feed it in, give it opportunity to soak up that lovely, lovely ink. I'm going to leave myself a little tail. I'm just going to give it a second to drink that ink. Get it all covered. And then when we take it out, oh, it's not quite covered in that one, so I'm just going to push it back in. I want it to be really juicy so I get a really good look. So this is my practice, remember, so it doesn't always go to plan. There we go. And then I'm just going to pull it out like so. Can we see that there? So I've got a piece of twine covered in the lovely ink there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create myself a little bit of a shape. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to roll it around. I'm going to come back down like so. Can we see that there? So backwards S, call it what you wish. And then with a second piece of card, hope this works, I'm just going to lay it on top, push it down, and with the piece of string we've got hanging out of the bottom, I'm just going to pull it. And it'll make quite a nasty noise. Fingers crossed it's worked. There we go. You get two pretty little flowers. Quite cool, isn't it? So just set that aside. Have a drink of my coffee. So this is normal. Yeah, it does look like a lily. So this is normal cardstock. So you've instantly got a card there. You can put splashes on there. You can add some texture in the background with your stencils. You can use your stippled brush on there. Yep, if you really don't want the colour on your hands, you can wear rubber gloves, plastic gloves, whatever. So that was my practice. So now we're going to go for the real thing, okay? So let's just set that aside. And here I have a piece of watercolour card this time. Now, I can't even remember if it works better on watercolour card or not. And what I've done is with the lovely brown, the old papery colour, which I've not got much left of, as you can see, I have just put a wash on the back here, just painted it on very lightly. Just want a bit of texture in the background there. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to challenge myself live in studio, which is crazy, isn't it? So I'm going to use the lid of my confetti ink as a palette because it'll wipe clean. So I'm just using a palette here. I don't have my other palette to hand. It must be in my TV bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it here, look, and then I'm going to pipette some out of the purple into this lid here. So as you know, as I've said, you get the pipettes in the box. So I'm just going to pipette some of the lovely purple in there, not too much, because I don't want to waste it. I'm just going to squeeze that back in there, save that. So I'm just going to put this away now because this is going to be the last time that I am going to use it. Cork in there and then lid, like so. And then let me just show you the red is settled. We see that there? So now back to clean, clear colour, and then the lovely glitter's back on the bottom. So if I don't want a sparkly image, I don't have to have one. So let's take the lid off here, put it on extra tight in case it went everywhere. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipette some of the red. Just get rid of some of that, there's a little bit too much there. And I'm just going to put some red on the other side. And what I'm going to try and do this time is create a multicoloured flower with a variation of colour. Wish me luck, everybody. Do you know what though? It's as I always say, if it doesn't work, it's a piece of card, isn't it? And it can go in the bin. So let me just wipe that splatter off my hand there. I'm already getting a mucky puff already. So make sure you've got a tissue to hand. But again, it's fun. And if you've got the patience for it, your cards do look different. And again, sometimes it is nice to make cards that don't incorporate stamps. You know, we're crafters, we like to play. So I'm going to take the lovely piece of twine, whatever it may be, and I'm just going to dip it in both of the colours this time, so a little bit of a mix hopefully. So we might get a nice bit of red in there, bit of purple. I'm just going to encourage it to drink that ink with my lovely pipette. So I'll let it soak up that colour. So on the one that we just did our practice on, it was normal card, just white card. That one was white card. This one is watercolour card, so it would be interesting to see how different it looks. Gossip ink in bottles. Yeah, I think if you go to FBL, they're quite far down. And they're cheaper for club members as well. So if you are a club member, that's brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what I did there. Get rid of that drop. And I'm going to create obviously the like shape. So we'll start at the top here. Take your time with it. It's meant to be enjoyable. Don't stress yourself out thinking it's got to be perfect, you know. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Let's go with that, shall we? And then a piece of card on top. So I'm just going to go with the white card. I'm going to press it on top and then I'm going to pull it out. And hopefully, we have another pretty image. There we go. So you can see the results there. So on watercolour card, you didn't quite get that texture look. Can we see that there? So it's worth trying with both. Maybe the string was oversaturated on there. But absolutely you can go to town with these and just enjoy them big time. I wonder, let me just clean my station here. So you can actually see the shimmer in there. Can we see the shimmer in there? Yeah, you can see the gold in there, can't you? Absolutely beautiful. So let me just dry that off. So because I've got some ink in this palette here, what I'm going to do is I might ruin it, I might not. I'm going to give it a go though. I'm going to do one colour over the top and see if we get a texture. Does that make sense? So let's just move that one aside because that's a card in itself, that one, isn't it? Let's move that aside. So I'm just going to take my string again and I'm just going to pick up some more of that colour. You can use the same string time and time again, I'm thinking, you know. I don't think you need to do a new string every time. So this time I'm just going to try again and maybe try and get a bit of texture in there because I'm not sure if you can actually go over an image twice, but do you know what? I'm not bothered if it doesn't work. At least you know at home. Like so. So let's try this one then. No, I've seen the chains though. They look fab. So let's see what this one looks like. No different. Actually, it's a little bit different on this one. Can we see the texture on there? But no different on this one. So it's just food for thought. Give it a go. Heather off the design team, she's made some absolutely belting ones of these. And then she stamped a big sentiment in the centre and they look stunning. So Heather, if you are watching, can you post your makes on the Eureka fan page to show everybody how it's actually done? Because this one hasn't quite gone to plan. However, the first one did, which I'm pleased with, because I quite like that one. But you think about the wash on the back of there, then your colour on top, and then a sentiment straight through the centre. You will see when the design team show you. But it's just one of those techniques. Now, if you haven't got these, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to buy them. Maybe think about your sparkle pens. Give your sparkle, I'm not sure how much ink you would use out of your sparkle pens, but you can give those a squeeze out onto your mat. Try and get the string to suck up some of that and see where it takes you. What if you go in the opposite direction? Shall we try? We'll try and then we're moving on to a card. Okay, let's go opposite. Let's pick up the same colour. In the set you get some beautiful like aqua tones and navy. There's so many lovely colours. So I'm just going to try and get some of this ink picked up. There we go. So I'm going to do it on normal cardstock again. See if we can get a nice result like we did last time. Let's go opposite. Get rid of my drip, right, opposite. Oh, it seems a bit alien to go opposite. Anyway, we'll do it. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, go on, do it. Pat Pepper, you are such naughty. She encourages me to do stuff. I'm personally sending you this to Pat if it's not good. There we go. So it's exactly the same, but you can see the shape. I'm thinking if you got a white gel pen and added some detail in there, it would look pretty effective. If you did 2 or 3, it would look pretty effective. But it's just a technique that's used really a lot on social media, so go check it out. I'm not sure if there's a technical term for it, but great way to use your inks in your stash. So I'm going to move on. I'm just going to set that aside because I'm going to colour with that in a second. So I'll put my pipettes away, put everything to one side, and let's move on to the next card. It's always nice to just have a little bit of fun, isn't it, and be a little bit relaxed in the way that we do studio sometimes. It certainly is for me anyway. And show you that, although you all say, oh, your cards are amazing, that sometimes, you know, doesn't always work. Right, make sure my hands are clean for my next card. So the colours are not as separate. There are a few left, but they're not loaded on. If you are wanting separate colours though, personal message me on Facebook, not Stamps by Me info at personal message me on Facebook, and I will see what we've got left in our warehouse. Today is more about fun, you know, so mind you, it's fun every day, is it? I think it's fun anyway. Right, so let's do a lovely card. So in today's studio, I'm going to use the lovely, I'll just pop some card behind here, Circles of Light Lily. Take that off there because I've used that. So it's this beautiful one here, and it's the Circles of Light where I drew sort of like lights and arrows around, and then the head. You get the lovely geometric pattern in the back. Now these are actually already on the FBL. If you go further down, there's a feather, I think there is a thistle, there's a butterfly, and these are the ones that I honoured the die on about 4 or 5 weeks ago, so they're still in there. So if you are wanting to buy any of them, I'm just sending the die free, but I know a lot of you bought these, so that's why I've dug it out today. So first of all, I'm going to be a bit creative, which is nice. So in the sets, any of the Circles of Light sets, you get the dies to go around the head. So first of all, I'm going to use the lily head. Set this aside because this is part of my card. And what I'm going to do, I have a white top folding note card here. And it's a Roseanne's just tried Roseanne's just tried this string technique and it was a mess. Like mine then, just a bit like mine. Like mine. Did it not look like that? Was it worse than that? It's just a case of putting your hand on top and pulling. I think sometimes it's how saturated your string is, maybe. Maybe don't use the string more than 2 or 3 times. Just try different things. Probably half will go in the bin and you'll keep half and mount them on and put a lovely sentiment on. I don't think there is a bad way, but we'll see. I'll let you show us on the Eureka fan page later. So what I'm going to do with the head of this lovely lily here is I'm just going to stamp a panel of lilies down here. But first of all, I'm going to turn, if it's not mucky, I'm going to turn my card over because already I have a black mark. So I'm just going to pop this up here, look, like so. So we're going to stamp this in black in a line down here, and we're going to create ourselves like a border. So I'm going to use the VersaFine because I'm going to hopefully be able to use some of our bottled inks or maybe our watercolours or whatever you've got in your stash. And I'm going to repeat the process, do like a cascading set of lilies down here. And it's just the heads, and you'll be able to see why shortly. So keep going. It's actually been lovely not to have to worry about TV. We do love TV. But it's just sometimes lovely not to have to worry about it and just think, do you know what, today in studio I'm going to do this and I'm going to play. I'm not going to have to worry about, you know, having to show new products, having to revisit. It's just lovely just to sit and think, right, today we are literally going to play and see where it takes us. So I just have a drink of my coffee. So Gail, the top folding note cards, the coloured ones, they should be here any time. So I will keep you posted on that. Everything's just taking a little bit longer than normal, as you can appreciate. And what's happened as well is, if we're getting anything overseas, the criteria with the pandemic, obviously, is that we're not allowed to touch it for 48 hours. So, albeit they're getting delivered and they're in the building and I'm getting itchy feet and hands to get into the boxes, we're not allowed to actually touch it for 48 hours. It's just part of the rules. So as soon as they do land though, I will let you all know. You're welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so you can see there, basic, absolutely basic, top folding note card, 3 lilies stamped in a line, nothing fancy at all. Okay, set that aside. What I've got here is a piece of white card, and all I've done ahead of time is I've mounted a piece of black card down one side, and this is just to elevate the card, and it is as well, instead of a regular mat and layer, it is sometimes nice to either go left and right or left or right, and it just enhances your card and chops it up a little bit from, you know, what you do every day. So I have this here, so I'm just going to pop this into my Eureka here, and I have the lovely lily one, which has got the bud and the stamen on there as well, stamens. So I'm just going to pop this up here, and I'm going to pop it on a slight angle, and you will see why in a second, like so. So I'm losing a little bit of the image off there and a little bit off there, but it is okay. So we'll stamp this one. I can't wait to see all your, you know, Tom does it sometimes too, and so we get some dinosaurs, look a bit like dinosaurs and things. But after playing, after a while, you'll have 2 or 3 really good ones where you can put a really bold sentiment through it, add some splats, it looks really arty, if you've got the time to do it, and a lot of you do have a lot of time at the moment, which is nice. So there we have a part lily on that panel. So I'm just going to set this one aside. And then I'm just going to bring in a piece of white cardstock here. And the lily, let's just remove that one there, we don't need that one now. And then the lily head again, we're just going to stamp the lily head on its own in black. Hi Sharon, yes, the blending brushes have arrived. They are in the building. We couldn't touch them, like I just said, for 48 hours, but they are in the building. Some have been sent, but as you can appreciate, we sold thousands and it's me and Tim getting them out of the door. So they've been dealt with separately to all your orders. But if you have ordered the blending brushes and other products, don't worry, they are all being sent. So if you're thinking, you know, where is my stuff, honestly it is on its way. It's just me and Tim are having to work late. The only time we haven't worked late is yesterday when the internet was down because I fell out with myself, which you can imagine why. So yesterday we managed to get in the garden for about 5 o'clock and catch the latter end of the sun. But yes, they are here. We have sent a few of them already. Well, we've sent over half and we sold over at least 1,000. So we are getting through them. It's Bank Holiday Monday as well, so just bear that one in mind as well. But yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of next week you've all got them, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And then when you all get them, I'll show you more ways of using them. Right, so if you look here, look at what's going on. So if you are crafting along, I have the panel down the centre of my card, I have my one stamped there, and I have the one on my lovely panel here. Can we see that there? All just stamped in black ink, nothing fancy. So as I've said, you do get the dies with these. I've popped the dies on there too. So if you do want any of them, just buy the stamp. Don't buy the stamp and die, because I'll have to refund you for the die. Okay, just pop the stamp in your basket, and then the die will automatically be sent. So you get the die outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one out here. So let's grab our cutting mats. And then just pop the die around. So you get the 1mm border as you do with all of our dies. So just pop it around. And then we'll cut this one out. So you can see these are some of our, oh, I better tape that, I don't trust myself. You can see these are some of our earlier ones because they're red, and we started out with red. But they still work absolutely fine. So I'm just popping that die around there, trying to get that lovely border as even as I can. And again, if you don't quite line it up, it isn't the end of the world. So let's cut this one out. Helps if your machine is switched on. That's because we've been doing Craft Academy. We don't need the dies, do we? And then when you pop it out, you get the beautiful lily head on there. Can we see that there? There we go. So the capability to like decoupage and 3D is there. It's fabulous. Just set that aside. And it's got sentiments in there too as well. So if you are crafting on a budget, you have got everything you need in there. It's funny because we get emails every single day. People have wish lists and things they want to buy, and either are saving up or waiting for birthdays and special occasions and things like that. I do take note of all the things that come through and this was one of them for one of the ladies. I can't remember the lady's name, but the opportunity is there for you now, sweetheart, to get the die free. So I do monitor and try and help as much as I can, where possible at the very least. So let's create a beautiful card. Now you could use the ink, now you could use the lovely ink which I just popped into my confetti ink here. You can use your pans, so your watercolour tubes, you can use your acrylics, you can use your gouache. They are all on the list of things for me to revisit. So every time we get a downtime, I'll try and revisit the things where people have said, can you show me how, can you teach me, or how some techniques using this or that. I will try. Now what's going on? Let's have a look. Is everybody okay? So we've got a troll alert. What does that mean? Oh, blimey, trolls. Is it people? I think it's just YouTubers, because our channel is growing. It comes across as spam, and people pop in things to promote their own channel and things like that. I don't think it's malicious as such. People just trying to promote things. So don't worry, Tim's always trying to monitor it for you, so it doesn't interfere with the studio. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some dimension to here. So I'm going to pick my palette here. Now let's just have a look. Sorry, lots of questions about how to get the free die. So all you have to do, ladies and gents, is go to stampsbyme.co.uk, and in the search engine there, you can just pop in there FBL, and all the products in there that I use in show, new releases, things that I've just landed in store and things like that. And then all you have to do is go down, and this stamp is, I think it's relatively near the bottom, with along with a thistle, a feather, a butterfly. So if you pop any of those in your baskets, we will automatically send the die, and I'll tuck the die in the back of the stamp for you, so it'll come with the stamp. So we're honouring the dies. It's been in there for about 4 or 5 weeks, and some of you have been purchasing them, but I understand that a lot of you have got them in your stash now and forgot why you bought them, so that's why I'm doing it today. But if you do want to buy them, they are down at the bottom somewhere in there. There isn't that many left. It was an in-store offer that we had when the shop was open. I just felt it'd be nice for people to maybe build a little bit on their stash. Right, hang on, let me just do a bit of crafting, because I'm mindful all I'm doing is talking at the moment. I can give myself a headache, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of this lovely, I know it's a mix now because we've mixed 2 colours, haven't we? But I've got this ink here in my palette, so I'm just going to see if I can dilute it down a little bit, what it's going to look like if we dilute it down. And it actually looks quite nice diluted down. Can we see that there? There we go. So I'm going to use that. I'm not going to bother with my palette. I'm going to use what colour I've got in my lid. I don't want to waste it. We've used these so many times in studio that they are quite precious. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the lid of my watercolours as a palette. I'm just going to take some out, dilute it down, and because it's got that sparkling, why not, hey? So I want a pale colour today, so I'm just going to drop some of this lovely pale pinky red, call it as you wish, and then I'm just going to drop some of the colour into here and drag it out. I'm not trying to be fancy with light and shade, and it's normal cardstock, so it will just drink the colour. It won't give me time really to blend. So I'm just laying that colour down as neat as I can. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention as well, is this morning, I did notice on the Eureka fan page that somebody was having a question about where do you start with Craft Academy, where do you start with Stamps by Me, and I think it was Tina actually, I'm not actually sure if Tina's on the chat, I think she is, and another lovely lady had guided her on where to go, what she needed, so thanks for that, ladies. You did absolutely save me a job. I wasn't ignoring the lovely lady, I was just really busy. So thank you so much, girls, for helping out with that. It was perfect. So I'm just colouring all 3 of these very quickly. With that colour that we've just got in there. And it has got a little bit of sparkle, even despite me even diluting it right back. So I hope the ladies that asked about these inks are watching. There is also another video on YouTube where I've done some messy backgrounds and I've added some foil to them. What I'll do after studio is I will attach the link for today's studio, and I'll also attach the link for that one too, so there'll be 2 links, okay? So if you have these inks in your stash and you're wanting some inspiration, I'll attach all the links I can find where I've used these in studio, and then you can have a lovely afternoon with a cup of tea and go and check them out and see what you can do with your lovely products. So just set that aside. So with the one that we've got spare, I'm going to colour this one quickly, and I'm just going to go a touch darker, just a touch, and you will see why in a second. So whilst I'm just quickly colouring this one then, there are no dies with our Craft Academy stamps. I don't know if somebody's just asked that one. Unfortunately, we haven't done the dies. We wanted everybody to get involved as much as I could, and I just felt if we'd have done a die, it'd have been out of people's reach given the current circumstances. So the Craft Academy just comes with the stamps at this moment in time. And a lot of the images that we have done, I have shown you that they, albeit they do take a little bit longer, it's still achievable without the extra, whatever, £20 cost of a die. So I've just, that's the reason why I've done it, to keep it down for everybody. I hope that's okay. So we have a brighter one there. Can you see that there? So let's get this lovely card, sort of, let's get something going so you can see where we're going with this, because at the moment it's a bit odgy spodgy, isn't it? So I'm just going to bring in our lovely panel here. I'm just going to grab, then they can be drying while we're talking. I'm just going to grab my Eureka, and in the lovely stamp set you get some lovely sentiments too. So we're just going to add the sentiment to the bottom of our panel here. So I'm going to use Sending You Lots of Hugs. Now there are wishing you the brightest of days, and a warm birthday note, and a wish that you'll spend the loveliest day from beginning to end. That's quite a nice one too. But I'm going to use Sending You Lots of Hugs instead of Lots of Love today. And the reason I am is because it actually fits perfectly on my panel here. Can you see that there? So I'm just going to stamp this in black. Have I missed anything? I think everybody's okay, aren't they? Use the sentiment so many times as Michaela. So we have sent you lots of hugs. So let's just move this one out of the way. So let's get some card put together, shall we? So I'm just going to give my card a nice crease on there. What I am going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of detail in the back. Now you don't have to do this. I'm just going to use some of that lovely colour. I'm just going to add some splats to the back and it will come to fruition. We're going to hide half of it anyway. So I'm just adding some splats over the panel of lilies we've got going on there. And remember, they always dry back lighter, so it's not the end of the world when you put it on and it's a little bit dark. They dry back lighter. Loving the show again today. Thank you, May. Is that because my cards didn't go very well at the beginning? There we go. I've just noticed as well, we need to get just that little bit of greenery on there, don't we? The buds at the bottom here. So I'm just going to take my pan. I'm just going to cover some green in there very quickly. Like so, and then we've also got those like stamens. Pop a bit of yellow in there. And I always add a few yellow extra dots in and around, just to bulk it out a little bit. They dry back to pretty nothing anyway, so just to add a suggestion that there are more in the background. Just colour this one too, so it's matching. I've just coloured that one in green. What's all that about? It should be yellow. I've done it in green. This one's poorly. Oh. This one's poorly, if anybody asks. No, let's not talk about the box. It's going to be on my headstone, is the box. So Phil, the tree swing sweetheart was launched a couple of weeks ago. We've done that one. but you can go back and revisit it on YouTube. Just look down the videos. I think it might be about the 8th or 9th video down, and there's 3 videos, 3 studio lives using that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this card. I keep saying that I'm going to make it. We're not actually getting around to doing much crafting now today. So what I've done is I have 2 panels here, you can see, and I need some pads to create some dimension. So this one, sorry, I'm out of shot there, Anna, sorry. I'm just going to pop some pads down this panel. I always do enjoy revisiting earlier products. I hope you agree at home, and I hope it's not, I know some of you don't have the products, but I hope it's not boring for the people that have seen them and done things with them. But I really do love to go back and revisit earlier products, because it encourages you to get them back out again, doesn't it, for one, and maybe do something different to what you would have done last time with them. And it's always nice if we've got new viewers as well, so they can see what we've been up to. So I hope it's okay and you're not thinking it's boring. So what I'm going to do there is I've just popped that on there. So we have a panel down the right. Can we see that there? Hope that's straight. Yeah. And then we have our other panel here. Yeah, so even if you don't have them and you're feeling a little bit inspired, have a dig in your stash. You might have something similar to this from another brand, or something I've created before that's similar. You know, you don't have to have, you see this here? So I'm just going to pop this alongside here. Now I'm going to try and keep it so my borders are the same length. You see there? And then the one that we've done as an entity on its own there, just going to pop this one direct on top of here, look. So you get the 3D element on there. And then this bud here, we just need to complete, we just need to bring bring everything together so it's not, I'm just going to use green. Just going to fill the bud in there and down the stem. Like so. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to add anything else. It's something different. Panels are a great alternative. There we go. So you could use the complete stamp, this one, in the background if you wanted to. In the set as well, you also get the geo shape. Can we see this little shape here? So if you wanted to do the geo shape in the panel rather than the lilies in the panel, you could swap it out for that if you wanted to. But it's more about the panels and the layering, and you can take away from it the bits that you like, and you can add to, change, twist, and do your own style on it. So that's that card. And then the string pulling technique, from the good one I've done, I'm going to put it onto a card with a sentiment in the centre and show you how effective it is as soon as we add a sentiment and layer it, because as you all know, the cards don't come to life until we matte and layer it on another colour, and I'll pop it in the photo for you. So I hope you've had a lovely hour. We haven't done much craft. It seems like we haven't done much crafting. I think because we've been doing Craft Academy and I've been trying to show you so much. But I hope everybody's well. And you're going to have a lovely afternoon. Hopefully I'm back with you tomorrow. You're going to have a lot of shows with me, aren't you? Because I've got no TV planned in for at least 10 days. So we're going to have lots of studios and lots of fun. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely afternoon. I will post the pictures. Don't forget to comment. Let me know how you've got on. And don't forget to post your makes on the Eureka fan page so we can see if they're as bad as mine. Take care, everyone. Bye.